Helicopters of all sizes are flying and being featured at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
It's all part of HeliStorm, a free two-day event for radio-controlled helicopter enthusiasts. People from all over the community are coming to see the show. 2 News photographer Joe Gerning takes us there.
It gives me great joy to have it here in the birthplace of aviation.
Being outside and being able to experience real aircraft that's real, flying to the sky, as opposed to something that's, on a display.
We have competitions starting Friday and going through Saturday.
I plan to compete with the 67 Black Hawk in the military competition here this weekend.
And you can see all the aircraft. You can vote for your fan favorite. You can follow the scores.
I like the one that's like the hot dog shaped one. And I like the one that's like green and over there that we saw.
Oh my goodness, I've been in the hobby since I was 11 years old. It's a passion that I have for everything that goes up in the air.
This is about supporting the helicopter industry while also giving students a new avenue. When you can get kids interested in the hobby, then their appetite for maybe becoming a pilot or a tech.
I fly the model and I fly the real ones too. I love the engineering part, the building part, as well as flying too.
It's always great to help inspire, the younger generations, and aviation enthusiasm as a child led me to a full-size, aircraft career. I've traveled the world for the last 40 years, and it's been absolutely amazing.
I mean, this is a great way to get started with this stuff. It teaches you all kinds of things. My father was in aviation, my brother, the whole family's in aviation.
Every birthday, I said, Mom, can we go to the museum? And I thought, where do you go?
You can practically hear the sizzling from outside the hangar. And you certainly can smell it.
I don't believe in bad bacon.
Care flight nurse Mike Moyer doesn't mess around when it comes to his bacon.
I really like the bacon in general to be meaty and to be at the same time something that you can really sink your teeth into.
And it's earned him a nickname around the base.
The Bacon Man, the Bacon King, mainly and simply for the obvious reasons.
Moyer has taken on breakfast duty for his crew.
Sometimes they like it a little bit more done, so I'll cook some a little bit more than the others.
I'm not a big breakfast person, but Mikey's kind of got me starting to eat breakfast.
And even the team's pilot gets involved, making everyone a cup of hot chai.
Oh yeah, really like a family. That's why we make food and we eat together.
But sometimes breakfast gets interrupted.
Care flight number 2, you're activated.
I've very much been in the middle of cooking bacon and had to go.
The team showed us what they do when they get called out on a mission.
When tones drop that we have a flight, we get our game face on and it's time to go to work.
Their goal is to be off the ground within 10 minutes. Because more often than not, they're on their way to help someone on their worst day.
For me, it's a great deal of pride to still be able to do this every day.
So when breakfast is done and there's a chance to sit around the table, they take it.
It's nice to just talk about, what's going on in your life, what's new, and talk about the day.
Over a cup of chai and a plate full of bacon.
I just love being able to, give my team something just fun, lighthearted, which is always fun to say because it's bacon, it's cholesterol for the heart.
Brooke and John, looking at all this damage, it's truly amazing that nobody was severely hurt. These homeowners gave us permission to survey their property. This is their refrigerator and this is their stove. They're so much out of order, but they're just happy to be alive.
We're lifting the roof up and the wind taking it away from me. The only thing left in our 3-year-old's bedroom was my wife and my 3-year-old. The walls and everything was gone.
John Stewart, his wife, and his 3-year-old daughter were taken to the hospital after they were trapped under the rubble of this morning's tornadoes. Stewart says his wife rushed in to warn him. Then she took cover to save their daughter.
She's got a pretty good 3-year-old saving bruise on her shoulder, I think, from where the roof fell. But I think we made it out pretty good. So.
Officials from the Springfield Township Fire Department say that those were the only 3 injuries, and they got initial calls of down power lines around 5 a.m. Before those calls were upgraded to multiple buildings collapse, and when they got to the scene, it was a struggle to see and assess that damage.
Biggest problem is we was having a hard time accessing it due to the debris that was on the roadway. Our township road department was able to come out with a backhoe and actually move some of the debris out of the roadway for us.
The Stewarts and many of these other homeowners are now left taking pictures of this damage to send to insurance companies.
Marshal Service, this is Tyler.
It all starts with a phone call.
You want to try to do as much background work and pre-planning as much as possible. The more you know about them, the better off, and the safer you can take them in custody or find them.
It's the moment a fugitive comes onto the radar of the U.S. Marshal Service.
The first step is we collaborate with our local law enforcement partners. Once they turn it over to us, we immediately start working that case.
Michael Black, the U.S. Marshal for the Southern District of Ohio, says his team works a number of state and federal cases at any given time.
We have an excellent crew of deputy marshals that are skilled in finding and using intelligence to apprehend fugitives.
The next step, sending out a special task force of deputy marshals to serve that warrant.
It could be hours, days. If it's a super serious case, it could be multiple days, if not weeks. There's a lot of time that we spend researching to make sure that we're trying to go to the best possible location.
All the intel that we get, it changes on a day-to-day basis.
Please, U.S. Marshals, come to the door.
In many cases, they get who they're after. The fugitives then hand it over to the court system, but in the event they're not found,
we want to try to get more information. Maybe we can talk to other people that surround an area.
It could take up to a month, but once they're on the case, along with our law enforcement partners, we stay on it.
Because the objective is very clear.
The goal is to apprehend these individuals, get them off the streets, and do it safely without any violent conflict at all.
Marshal Black tells me one of the most critical pieces of evidence gathering is the public. He says it's on all of us to keep our community safe and speak up when something is wrong. I'm Caleb Michael for 2 News.
Welcome to the Indianapolis Convention Center, where thousands of gamers are here attending Gen Con, the largest board game convention in North America. Last year, a record 71,000 attendees were here enjoying games and all sorts of events. There's even more here this year. So, we've got a lot to see. Let's show you around the best 4 days of gaming.
Watching the people play games everywhere and just having so much fun, man.
They asked me to do the cover and I cried. I was so excited.
This is a really fun space to design a game in. Like, what if we could play a game with everyone at Gen Con?
Here, everyone is some sort of gamer. So we all love our games, and during downtime, we'll sit, find a corner, find a table, just start playing a game.
Obviously, it's all about the games. This year, Gen Con had almost 30,000 events to take part in. Board games, miniatures games, card games, role-playing games, and much more. There's something there for everyone.
It's hard to get everyone together. Here, you have friends you see every year. You get to do that role-playing, some of that board gaming, and also play some of the new stuff before it comes out.
It's, the gathering of the nerddom. I've got friends from all over the world who come in and play, and it's one time that we can all get together and play.
So where can you find all these amazing games? Right here in the vendor hall. Let's take a look. Stick close, it can get tight through here.
Here in the vendor hall, just under 600 companies, artists, and authors are available for con-goers to browse and shop. From big-name companies to smaller-name gems, you'll always be sure to find something that catches your eye.
Gen Con's my favorite, and everyone's so nice here. I don't know if it's just like a Midwest thing, but everyone's been very kind.
Some companies even do demos right there on the spot, so you can try a game to find out if you like it. Then if you do, you're sold.
There are so many genres of board games, and what we really love is combining genres in unique ways. We always think about, does this game deserve to exist? And we're trying to find games that we've never played before, games that we want to play, and then make them, and then hopefully people also want to play them.
I would honestly be surprised if we didn't have a couple thousand a day just walking past our particular area. This is the best place to have more eyes on the product. And even if somebody doesn't necessarily care for it themselves, they'll mention it to somebody and they'll get a bug in them and they'll come check it out.
And even though the convention center is massive, it's still not big enough to hold everything that Gen Con has to offer. Several nearby hotels and Lucas Oil Stadium right next door have been converted into gaming spaces.
You can see where the Colts play. You can sit in the stands. You can sit there and have celebrities walking around.
There's also tons of other activities you can take part in, like dressing up in cosplay.
It's fun just to see people recognize the other people in the parade and see what everyone's got. I mean, you're a fan of cosplay as well. You've seen all the people around here that are dressed up as all these different things. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's fun to see how people use materials other than cardboard and duct tape to create these characters and stuff.
Or painting your own miniature that you can take home.
And there are all sorts of painting events that welcome skill levels of all kinds. Some of the higher end painters will submit their stuff into the convention's painting contest, where some of the most amazing miniatures from hobbyists all around the world are showcased. I hope that wins something. And if you're ever at this convention, you have got to check this out. This is Cardhalla. This is a massive structure that it gets built every year from donated playing cards. It gets built up and up and up all weekend from volunteers who just want to help.
At the end of the weekend, Cardhalla gets torn down, but in a fun way. Everyone donates money to take part in throwing coins to bring the massive structure down. The highest donation gets the first toss. All the proceeds go to charity.
And there is still so much that we haven't even seen at Gen Con. There's a writer symposium, a film festival, a board game auction for charity. They do all sorts. There's so much fun for everyone to be had here at Gen Con. It's the best 4 days in gaming, and it's absolutely worth the trip. For Game Together and WDTN Plus, I'm Ben Jetron. Have a dice time.
And one of the things that we do is we do a consumer show called Origins, which is this show. We are the hobby games mostly, which like you mentioned, like Catan, Gloomhaven. They're more modern, they're more complicated, they're more strategy-based, a lot of them are. But it's a lot of fun, just different kind of fun.
Origins is definitely like one of those like core conventions. It's like all about gaming, like, and like has so much to offer.
Origins is the first convention I did with Dolphin Hat, with Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. But to be smack dab in the middle is great. The Dayton gaming community is great. It really offered like a great kind of launch for me and my business.
And we do advocacy work on behalf of our members. I was in DC last week lobbying against tariffs. Tariffs are hurting our industry. People are importing games from China and other countries. We do educational work, how to design a game, how to bring it to market, how to sell it in your store, how to work with a publisher, how to work with IPs. We do those kind of things as well. And we do a lot of public awareness about what the gaming industry is, what the hobby is, and how you get involved as a game designer or as a retailer.
I think the reality is a lot of people kind of crave fun, closeness, family time, little time putting the phone away.
Just the moment, see people playing and having fun. I was walking here a few minutes ago, and we have a paint and take area, so you get a free miniature, you get to paint it, take it home with you.
Well, we come every year. It's part of our family tradition.
And there's a family with like 4 kids and their parents painting together as a group. That was cool.
And like we'll run demos for people who've already bought the game, right? And they just want to hang out and play the game, their favorite game. A rewarding part of this that was not really expected. Like I knew it was going to happen, that we're going to see the same people again. But I didn't think it would be kind of like almost like a reunion.
No, I never thought so. I can't believe I'm here, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've always loved board games, and just people are so creative, and there's so many different types of games that it really like makes you exercise different muscles in your brain. So it's a lot of fun.
I used to play an old like slapjack game called ERS, and I was replacing some of the numbers with emojis because I had made an emoji game just before this one. And the first one I saw was the taco, and I was like, oh gosh, what if I replace the 2 with a taco? And then just kind of cascaded from there.
My first set that I ever got was a plastic, it looked like frosted glass set. And so when we started making dice, I was like, let's figure it out. Let's figure out how to do that. So it's a glass that we use like an acid etching to sort of make that frosted effect, to create that sort of sea glass line. And we have like special fonts that we use.
It was around park number 23, which is Olympic National Park, where I was just like, oh, all these parks are so different, so unique. But there's a lot of common themes and different things that you can kind of work together. So I was like, I think there's a game here. And Chinese Mahjong is one of my favorite games. So I think it kind of just naturally felt like a fit to do something like that.
I used to play a very similar game to this back when I was a kid. It was a game that was only published once from TSR. They're out of business. They're gone. I used to play it with my family all the time as a kid. And when I got older and I had my own kids, I wanted to play the game with them. I went back to the farmhouse, opened up the old copy of the game, and it was all moldy and nasty and destroyed. And so I couldn't. So I said, well, I'm not going to give up. I would like to play this game with my kids. So I set out to make my own board.
On Thursday, Buc-ee's will break ground on its first store in Ohio and its northernmost store in the country.
And the initial site plan includes 240 gas pumps. This most certainly is not your father's convenience store. With the brisket, beef jerky, beaver nuggets, and hoopla, it's closer to the Beatles than a gas station.
First, it is often referred to as a convenience store on steroids.
If it was just a gas station, it would be just a gas station, and there wouldn't be this type of hype around it.
Gas and hype. Buc-ee's has a lot of both. A Taylor Swift concert coming to town kind of hype, and a seemingly endless number of gas pumps.
It was something I'd never experienced as mayor, so I was excited about it coming.
In April of 2022, Richmond, Kentucky Mayor Robert Blythe flung the doors open to the store there. He says it was like Black Friday.
But there was a lady, she said, I've been to all of their stores, and I've got a cap, and I've got a t-shirt from, I said, ooh.
Blythe calls Buc-ee's a phenomenon. It is simultaneously a magnet for an unprecedented crush of people and utter confusion for those who have not experienced it firsthand.
It's just one of those things trying to explain it, and everybody looks at you like you're crazy. You just can't explain it until you actually visit one.
Huber Heights Mayor Jeff Corris had the Buc-ee's experience many times visiting his son in Texas. He knows the mania that is coming to his city and the very real traffic concerns in what is already a busy stretch of interstate. He says Buc-ee's has a plan.
In their 700 and some page development plan that they presented, over 500 pages that just dealt with the traffic would be able to navigate and negotiate that.
Gore says any traffic will be worth it. The new store is expected to create approximately 200 jobs for residents and inject significant revenue into the city's wallet.
I know that they're going to add, a healthy number kind of to our bottom line when it comes to overall revenue, but I wouldn't have any way to project what that's going to be. But we're happy they're coming, and certainly any revenue that generates to the city is going to be great.
What it has done for our called payroll taxes. When I go to some of our regional and state meetings, first thing many ask me is, how's Buc-ee's doing? Buc-ee's is doing well. Trust me, they're doing well.
Blythe adds, make no mistake, Buc-ee's is a business to the nth degree, and they do things their way, but they are great members of the community. And he offers some simple advice to Mayor Gore and Huber Heights residents.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Well, Mayor Gore says he is ready, and from a business perspective, so too is Huber Heights. The Buc-ee's project is part of the city's push to grow in its eastern portion, adding to the Executive Boulevard expansion where the Rose Music Center is flourishing. Several restaurants are already open there, with plans for even more restaurants to follow.
Tomorrow, Buc-ee's will break ground in Huber Heights. It's the company's first in Ohio.
Endless gas pumps, over 70,000 square feet of food, drinks, and shopping. Oh, and the hype. So what will it be like? Well, we are working for you, and we're going on a field trip. We're going to Buc-ee's. A 2.5-hour journey for us to a 21st century gas station on steroids that has become a cultural phenomenon, a pit stop magnet for travelers. One of the things that Buc-ee's known for, gas pumps. And there are a lot of gas pumps. No, I mean a lot of gas pumps. No, I mean a lot of gas pumps. 120 of them at the Richmond location. However, the Huber Heights store will double that. Now, to put 240 pumps into perspective, if you fill up your car once a week and go to a different pump every time, it would take you nearly 5 years to hit each pump.
Definitely a unique place to stop off and stretch your legs.
Rusty and Beverly Garrison were on a 12-hour haul back to Wisconsin. They needed to fill up their own tanks.
Find some food and get back on the road.
Beverly was in it for the shopping. Plenty of that. Decor for the living room, sauces for your kitchen. I mean, why not? There's light reading for the kids, clothes to complete your closet, and horns. The store is from Texas, after all. And the beaver is everywhere.
And I bought all the stuff.
Mike Toki's making his second Buc-ee's stop of that day. He says he's been to 7 or 8 different locations, to include the original in Texas.
Buc-ee's hats, Buc-ee's shirts, Buc-ee's mugs. Yeah. I'm working on a big collection.
He admits he's had the mania, but on this day, he was dialed into the meat.
You know, it's hard to beat the pulled pork, but I'm trying the 3-meat sandwich today.
The meat counter is sweet music to your taste buds and your ears. The aforementioned pulled pork and 3-meat sandwich and brisket for days. You guessed it, cooked right there. Hankering for snacks? There are cases loaded with beef jerky, all made on site. Freshly made beaver chips, beaver nuggies, even pickled quail eggs. You could go nuts in here. Oh, you can buy those too. Sweet tooth? You can get a cavity just walking through this store. Buc-ee's is its own fudge factory. Ma'am'll be jealous of this peanut butter fudge. Made from scratch. Oh, and before you get back on the road, what they call are the cleanest restrooms. Let's go. you know what? On second thought, you have to take my word on that one.
Gas station meets chaos. It's prom, New Year's Day in Times Square, Black Friday, and a zoo every day.
In a way, is it kind of like convenience store meets the Beatles?
I would say so. Helter Skelter.
So I've never been, but I've had the beaver nuggets. My sister brought me some of those. What about the brisket?
It's the real deal. I'm serious. I mean, we're not talking about your normal gas station with hot dogs on those rollers. This brisket it's almost like it's made from heaven. You can get it pulled, you can get it chunked. I went with the chunked, it was really good.
I'm about to make a drive down there.
By the way, if you want to get yours, if you're wondering when they will open in Huber Heights, Mayor of Huber Heights, Jeff Gore, says he's looking at the second half of 2025 as the opening date, but nothing is set in stone just yet. Of course, once we know, we'll let you know.
More than a dozen pilots are honoring the life of a local pilot who died in a plane crash in Missouri last week. 2 News reporter Allison Gens explains why they arranged this special flyover.
The flyover for Amanda Youngblood happened here at the Moraine Air Park Saturday afternoon. Youngblood was an instructor here for more than 2 years, and in that time, she touched the lives of everyone she met. Pilots at the Moraine Air Park get ready for takeoff for a flight to remember a friend who can no longer join them.
We're just going to go up, honor her doing what she loved to do most.
The flyover is in honor of 35-year-old Amanda Youngblood from Huber Heights. Youngblood was one of 2 pilots who died in a small plane crash in St. Charles County, Missouri last Saturday. Many of the pilots at the air park sharing memories of her time there.
In the afternoons, evenings, we'd go out and go flying and just, bore holes in the sky having fun.
The last time I saw her, I just remember people would walk in and just how excited she was to see them and greet them. And, it's going to be missed here.
The flyover took a route over Germantown, Middletown, and downtown Dayton, passing over the 3 airports Youngblood loved to fly out of. And at the end, 4 pilots flew by in a missing man formation.
It's kind of a way pilots symbolize the loss of one of their friends.
A friend that will be missed by all those who shared the sky with her.
More than sadness, it's just, celebrating the life that she had and just remembering just all the amazing times that she brought to the airport.
George King from Westerville was also killed in the crash. The NTSB says that the plane was on its way to pick up cargo, and the cause of the crash is still under investigation. In Moraine, Allison Gens, 2 News, working for you.
A day that many people hoped would never come. I've seen the entire Richmond community come out to honor the life of Officer Sierra Burton. Now, many people I spoke with today say although Sierra is gone, her spirit will live on in the Richmond Police Department.
It was saddened heart that I hereby retire badge number 140, as well as the radio identifier K92 that Sierra so proudly wore.
A young life taken too soon. The Richmond community gathered to say their final goodbye and thank you to Officer Sierra Burton. People who came to Sierra's viewing on Sunday are demanding justice.
The guy who shot Sierra, I hope he spends his lifetime in prison. And her family deserves justice.
Dr. Kathy Platoni is a clinical psychologist for 37 police departments in the area, including Richmond's. She's been working with Richmond officers for 5 weeks as Sierra fought for her life.
Again, this is a wake-up call for everyone, the dangers of law enforcement work, which makes their sacrifices and what they do every day that much greater. So we cannot fail to rally around them.
Dr. Platoni says Sierra's death will leave many of her coworkers, friends, and other first responders grieving a senseless loss.
Because only when they pass through those painful emotions can they make those steps forward.
The healing process has only just begun for the Richmond community. Some community members say they will get through this loss together as Richmond Strong.
We are going to be okay, I'm sure of that, because we're standing together. Look at the crowd. We're standing together, and that's only a portion of it.
Now, tomorrow is Officer Burton's funeral. We'll be having the full coverage all afternoon on WDTN.com and on the 2 News app. In Richmond, I'm Caroline Morse, 2 News, working for you.
This is truly a sport that takes a lot of teamwork, so the Dayton Boat Club took us out on the water to show us what rowing is all about.
1, 2, 3.
We are a little club, but we're so mighty.
Gliding down the river.
Bring it down, lengthen your stroke.
The Dayton Boat Club Masters team moves in sync.
I can't think of more of a team sport, because if some person is off in the boat, it has a ripple effect for everyone in the boat.
Melissa McQueen rowed in college. 2 years ago, she decided to pick up the oar once again.
I'm middle-aged and I picked up rowing after not rowing for 26 years, and I'm back in the swing of things.
Up and overhead and up.
Ages on the Dayton Boat Club team range from 21 to 67.
As long as you can help carry the boat down to the river, you can row.
Attention. Row.
Headmasters coach Daniel Ramondi says they'll accept all ages, backgrounds, and skill levels, as long as they're willing to put in the work.
What does it take to become a rower?
It takes a lot of leg strength. It takes a lot of dedication. Rowing is a full body sport. It starts all the way from your legs, swing through the body, and then continue with your arms so you get a full stroke.
Full, high 20, here we go.
This team doesn't just get on the water for fun, though they have that option if that's what you prefer. They also compete. The team went to nationals for the first time last year.
Once you cross the finish line, there is no better feeling in the world than knowing you've accomplished something, especially when you get a medal, and this team really likes to medal.
Even if you've never rowed before or think you have no athletic ability, McQueen says the team has a spot for everyone.
If you're at home on the couch, you should come and give us a try. Give us a weekend. We might change your mind. You might be a rock star.
And this team really made it feel like this is a sport that I could join. Reporting from the Great Miami River, Allison Gens, 2 News. All right, everyone, DBC on 3. 1, 2, 3. DBC!
President Biden wants manufacturing to make a comeback in America, and he's calling on Congress to help make that happen. President Joe Biden joined industry leaders in Hamilton Friday to talk manufacturing in America.
Getting products faster and cheaper and reliably and out-competing the rest of the world. That's what it's about.
The president believes increasing manufacturing across the country can help America solve its own supply chain problems and cut inflation. He's asking Congress to pass the Bipartisan Innovation Act, which would allow the government to invest in manufacturing companies and help them increase production.
That one of the best ways to fight inflation is to bring prices down, is to strengthen the resilience of our supply chains. And that includes making more things here in America, at home.
President Biden also introduced a new compact between some of the industry's largest and smallest manufacturing companies. The agreement allows the companies to share resources that would also help increase production.
Every General Electric, Honeywell, Siemens Energy, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, there are hundreds, for every one of them, there's hundreds of, if not thousands of smaller suppliers that help these iconic American businesses compete globally.
To help push for the Bipartisan Innovation Act, Senators Rob Portman and Sherrod Brown joined the president. They believe this bill is vital to Ohio's manufacturing future.
This is very important to Ohio. We just have an announcement by Intel to make a $20 billion investment in the Columbus area. But he said it could be about $100 billion if we get this CHIPS Act passed, which is part of this competitiveness legislation.
You will never hear him use the term Rust Belt. We're burying the term Rust Belt. We were burying it in Columbus with Intel. We're burying it in Cleveland with the Export-Import Bank. We're burying it in Cincinnati with GE and UPM and Butler Tech and UC.
And both the House and Senate are working to iron out the details of the Bipartisan Innovation Act. The president hopes they can have it on his desk to sign soon. In Hamilton, Riley Phillips, 2 News Today, working for you.